Hello, I'm Laura Humphreys, a health coach and advocate for all things holistic and natural health and wholeness. So today I want to ask you a question. Do you or someone you know suffer or having to deal with excess inflammation and things resulting from inflammation such as arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, some chronic stress? Do you have conditions like diabetes or Alzheimer's or atherosclerosis that you're having to deal with? So I want to talk to you today about some things having to do with those conditions and inflammation and ways that you can take care of yourself in a natural, holistic way through lifestyle, especially diet, and some other like natural remedies or essential oils to help with that. So one of the things that impacts inflammation is the way in which our genes function, specifically the IL-6 gene. Now this is the gene that regulates a molecule called Interleukin 6. And that's a molecule that's well known in contributing to inflammation. Sometimes the inflammation can be a good thing in your life, in your body. Other times it's not, especially if there's too much and it goes on for too long of a time. So if you have a variant in this gene, your IL-6 gene, meaning that there's an excess protein or something, then the function of this gene and the things that it regulates are going to be have a more difficult time to do what they need to do in your body to maintain health. Meaning, if you have a variant of this gene, then it will be more difficult for your body to maintain proper levels of inflammation and take down chronic inflammation. So if you know that you have the variant of this gene, which you can get by genetic testing, then you can support this through your diet and lifestyle and mindset so that it doesn't express in a way that can be more detrimental for your health. So what do I mean by this? Let me explain a little bit more about this gene, what it regulates and what it does, and some of the health conditions that are impacted by when this is not able to regulate inflammation the way in an ideal situation. Okay? So, and I've got some notes here, so just bear with me as I read through them or as I share them with you. The IL-6 gene includes association with heart disease, type 2 diabetes, stroke, obesity, Hodgkin's lymphoma, sudden infant death syndrome, cancer, including breast cancer, gastric cancer, prostate cancer, periodontitis or gum disease, and hypertension and complications after organ transplants. Now, I know that can be a long list of things, and a lot of things go into contributing to these conditions. But like most diseases and chronic life-threatening things, inflammation is at the root of all of that. So the more you can strengthen your body to deal with inflammation and keep it at a healthy level, the better off you're going to be. Now, this IL-6 gene, or the interleukin 6 gene, does not dictate or say that, yeah, you're going to get these conditions. What it does say or tell you is that if this gene is not expressing optimally, then that can play a part in how these conditions might progress. Okay, or it might set you up for a risk, if you want to call it, a higher potential for some of these to develop if you don't take care of it and if you don't watch how you eat and other lifestyle factors. Okay, so hence the video to help you with some of this. So the interleukin 6 substance, it's a cytokine or a molecule that's released by the cells to signal other nearby cells and tissues with an important role of the immune system. So when we're talking about this gene and this molecule of interleukin 6, then it's intimately tied with the functions of your immune system. Now, it was first described as an inflammatory molecule released by cells of the immune system during infection in order to attract other immune cells to help combat the infection. And as such, when it does this type of an expression, it's usually short-lived, and it is a good thing. You want this. However, what happens is when there's other factors, especially long-term stress, psychological stress that go on, then the interleukin 6 molecule is released, and it's been shown to increase inflammation and contribute to chronic inflammation over time. And that is the thing that you need to worry about, is maintaining your body so that chronic inflammation does not take hold and sit there in various areas or joints or organs of your body for a long period of time, because that is what will create disease. Okay, so it's also also with chronic stress, then we have the hormone cortisol that's released. So by the time when you have in conjunction an elevated cortisol levels as well as elevated interleukin 6 levels for too long, then you're setting yourself up for some problems if you don't take care of this. Proper levels and expression or amounts of the interleukin 6 is an important role plays an important role with healthy muscle tissue, especially when in the recovery after strenuous exercise. So again, we want to have some of this, just not too much of it, and not for an excess period of time. Okay. It also has a beneficial effect of promoting the release of glucose from the liver and fat tissue, which helps the breakdown of fat. So again, like all things, it's good in its proper amounts and proper functioning. Interleukin 6 has a broad effect on the cells of the immune system and often displays hormone-like characteristics that affect the overall homeostasis and balance of the body. So it has pro as well as anti-inflammatory properties. And so the thing with this gene of the IL-6, what it regulates is a thing called the TNF alpha, which is another molecule or cell that plays an important role in the immune system and the tissue health. So what is TNF? So that is TNF stands for tumor necrosis factor. And it's a cell signaling protein that is involved in inflammation and is one of the cells that make up the acute phase reaction. So for example, when you have an infection or an injury, there's an acute or immediate phase of inflammation or heat that's part of the natural healing process. This is a good thing. You want this. It's just the chronic expression when it's too much for too long of a time that creates problems. So the tumor necrosis factor plays a part in this. It's also, the primary role of that is in the regulation of immune cells. It helps reduce fever, which again is a good thing, and it plays a role in cell death, as well as cachexia, and that is the wasting away of the muscles, especially when somebody has cancer. So when you've seen someone in the end stages of cancer and they're nothing but skin and bones, where the disease has just wasted them away literally, that's what this condition of cachexia is the wasting. So the tumor necrosis factor plays a role in the wasting away of someone when they are in advanced stages of disease. Okay, The TNF, the tumor necrosis factor, also plays a role in the various things like Alzheimer's disease, cancer, major depression, psoriasis, Alzheimer's, cancer, inflammatory bowel disease. So all of the things that the interleukin 6 has a role in, then so does the tumor necrosis factor, this other molecule, which is regulated by the gene. Okay, so let's look some more at what you can do with this. So I'm going to refer a little bit to the traditional Chinese medicine and the 5-element theory when it talks about and what it says about the heart, which is a big factor or plays a big role in your immune system, as well as inflammation or heat. Inflammation is heat. So in the 5-element theory of Chinese medicine, then fire is one of the 5 elements, and that is mostly associated with the heart. So let me explain to you a little bit about what this element is, or this aspect of your psychology, aspect of your expression of yourself, and how you deal with your life. It is through the heart that we experience a lot of warmth and tenderness. The heart has always been a symbol of love and affection, as well as the giver and receiver of emotional warmth. So if your heart's open or closed, that says a lot about how your overall body's functioning, how your immune system is functioning, and I'll touch on that in a few minutes. So the heart and the mind is fundamentally responsible for ensuring a well-integrated and contented emotional life, as well as a balanced mind. They are two sides of the same coin, your mind and your emotions. You can't separate them out. They're very intrinsically connected. Most psychological problems will subsequently involve, at least to some degree, an imbalance within the fire element. So why would that be? So the enthusiasm and spontaneity that reflects an open, healthy heart and being in harmony can become, when you're under a lot of stress, a feeling of nervousness and agitation. And then this is where the inflammation comes in, because that is a reflection or a response to the emotional and mental nervousness and agitation. So you got that emotionally, mentally, and then the inflammation shows up physically, okay? The natural sensitivity and passion of the fire element, if it blazes out of control, can make you someone who's more overly excited and is quickly hurt. And this could be a reflection too of a guarded heart, an unhealed heart, where there's a lot of trauma and pain that you're holding in and guarding. And so when anyone touches upon something in your life, then you're easily hurt. You're real agitated and nervous of, am I going to get hurt again? Okay. Nervous exhaustion and insomnia are often consequences. So look at this for yourself and ask, do you experience any of this? Do you notice when you're kind of out of sync, or when you've gotten out of harmony with yourself, if this fire element goes out of whack and you experience some of these things? Because this, again, I'll tie this in with the inflammation in the interleukin 6 gene. These types of imbalances are more typical in people who are energetically hot by nature. So just overall personalities, you can tell when somebody's just kind of like cool and easygoing, and then somebody's all fired up and energized, and just a different fiery personality. We all know these types of people. Which, if it's too much heat or too much fire, then it's an excess of yang energy. People like this will inevitably benefit from various essential oils and foods and activities that can calm and soothe you, calm your nerves, calm your mind, to just bring some of that fire and that heat down. Again, if it's too much for too long, the body will will express that through too much of the inflammation that I just talked about. So you want to calm your heart, cool your nerves, and reduce excess yang energy, excess fire. Okay, and I'll talk about some of the oils that can help this in a few minutes. When the heart doesn't have enough yang energy, not enough fire, then that can create problems as well. So rather than excitement and agitation and like hypertension, tension and nervousness, then you have the other end of the spectrum where you just don't really care about things. There's not a lot of enthusiasm and joy and passion for life. You're kind of bored, or you're just kind of feeling like a stump on a log, or a stump. So the natural warmth and vibrancy has been lost, and it's easy to go into apathy and despondency. So, and then in that case, then you'd want to do other oils and lifestyle exercises and foods to help boost that. Okay. Disharmonies of a fire nature can also be characterized by problems of self-identity. And that's where immune system comes in, and I'll talk about that in a minute. This can manifest either as self-centeredness and selfishness, or as a poor self-image and poor confidence and low self-esteem. In this sense, then, the heart represents not only our relationship with others, but the understanding and compassion that we have for ourselves. And that's a crucial, critical thing. So anxiety is a state common to most everyone to some degree or another. And especially, though, for people whose personality tendencies are like fiery and tend to be more hot and more yang energy, then you have a tendency to go more into the anxiety and nervousness. Okay, so how does all of that relate to your immune system and your health in your heart? Well, if you have a lot of anxiety, nervousness, too much heart or too much fire, yang energy for too long of a time, you've got the nervousness, the agitation, the self-centeredness, the selfishness that it was talking about, of how you identify yourself, then you're often going to be living on edge. And that's a very agitative, nervous, unrestful energy in your body and in your energy system that your nervous system is going to pick up. And so it's going to create chaos, disharmony. That energy, that frequency of chaos and disharmony in the cells of your body, in your nervous system, will register physically as inflammation. It's agitation, it's too much fire, something's not right. Okay? And if you have the variant of this ILF6 gene, this interleukin 6 gene, to where you already have a propensity for having a difficult time dealing with inflammation and maintaining correct levels, and if you have a poor diet and lifestyle and you tend to be all stressed out all the time, then you're really setting yourself up for some problems. So not only do we want to look at taking care of yourself physically, but also your mental and emotional health. So as I mentioned, the immune system ties a lot into this, because what do the cells of your immune system read in your body? They go around looking for organisms, bacteria, foreign agents, yeast, viruses, things that are not self. So if you have an identity of yourself of either extreme that we talked about, of either low confidence, low self-esteem, or too much yang energy of the self-centeredness, selfishness, the anxiety, the nervous tension that happens, if that is all a reflection of how you view yourself, how you identify yourself, the cells of your immune system are going to reflect that. And so when they're going around looking for what is self and what is not self, they could be doing it in a more agitated way, more aggressive way, because you've got too much fire or yang energy. Or if you have not enough self-esteem or low self-image, most likely you'll also have poor boundaries. And so your immune system could express or reflect this by letting things slip and slide, by not checking or not keeping in check the appropriate scavenging of microorganisms, bacteria, foreign agents. Okay, they would just kind of have weak boundaries, so to speak, and allow more of those to filter along through your blood and in your cells, because there's not a lot of self-confidence, not a lot of self-image to really care about making sure your house is clean. So look at those correlations and see how they can apply to you and how you care for yourself, how you think about yourself. Because that will dictate, again, what you do, what you put in your mouth, how you care for your body. Okay? Also, if you have a lot of trauma and pain or difficult experiences in your life, like everyone does, we all have hard times in our life, things that challenge us, things that push us, things that create trauma and pain. If you have not been able to deal with that stuff, come to peace with it, come to some type of resolution, and look and be able to identify the lessons learned, the gifts, the things that it brought you, that strengthen you, that develop you into stronger, more robust, evolved, conscious human being. All of that unfinished trauma, that unfinished business, is going to contribute to this agitation, this nervousness, this excessive yang of self-centeredness or selfishness, or the other extreme of low confidence and poor self-image. Both of those, same coin, different sides of it, are an expression, or often are an expression of unresolved issues and wounds of your heart. And so if that chaos, that pain, that agitation is always there running in the background, at the low level, this energy is there in the tissues of your body, again, that's agitation, that's chaos, disharmony. And your immune system senses that, your nervous system picks that up, and it's going to set off the cycle of inflammation, as well as stress and cortisol levels. All of those things that we talked about earlier that contribute to all of those diseases I mentioned, as well as the poor expression of this IL-6 gene. And if you already have a variant in it, it's going to make it even more difficult for you, for your body, to properly function and maintain healthy inflammation levels if you've got all of this other stuff going, plus the gene variant, plus a poor diet. Okay? So let's take a look at all this stuff, roll it back, and create some healthy habits so that you can experience the energy, vitality, a long life, a happy heart that's open and giving to other people, that's open to express and receive love and thriving and greater life force energy, so that you can experience passion and joy and excitement in your life again. So that's what this is all about. And all of the many ways that you can feed yourself and take care of yourself not only contributes to that way of living, but it's a statement to yourself and everyone else of the degree of self-respect and self-love that you have, which, again, your immune system is a direct expression of that and how it keeps you healthy and your body clean. Okay? All right, so let's talk about some foods. whole foods, and then I'll go into a few essential oils that can support your immune system and help regulate proper inflammation levels. Okay, so 11, we'll start out with 11. I've got 2 different lists here. 11 different foods that can boost your immune system. Citrus fruits, the lemons, the limes, the grapefruits, mandarin, tangerine, tangelos, all those yummy orange yellow fruits, lemons that are very high in vitamin C as well as many antioxidants are very helpful for your immune system. Antioxidants are highly beneficial for your immune system because they help fight free radical damage and prevent cell breakup. So free radical damage is like oxidation or rust growing on your cells, in and around your cells. And that just contributes to aging and breakdown. Okay, green leafy vegetables. Not enough can be said for these. The kale, the spinach, the broccoli, the dandelion, the chard, the lettuce, the spinach. All of these things, cabbages, all of these things are highly, highly beneficial for literally every function of your body. You can't have enough of these. So load up on green leafy vegetables and a nice robust salad for lunch or dinner. You're doing your immune system a big favor. Yogurt is also helpful. And with that, any type of animal or dairy product, I have to offer this caveat of make sure that it is clean. It is a good quality yogurt, that there's not a lot of excess sugars in it. There's 90% or 95% of yogurts on the market that I've seen have way too much sugar in them, and they're not good for you at all. So make sure that if you're going to use yogurt, number one, there's no sugar. There's just the milk, a slight amount of like berries or fruit, something of a natural sweetener to help feed the probiotics, and then you've got a good strain of probiotics in there. That's all you want in the yogurt. The other caveat with yogurt is make sure that it comes from a quality source of milk, cow or goat milk, that the animal was raised in a humane, loving environment, that its life was honored, it was able to get out into the sun, it had a life in pasture, its natural feed, a natural life, not loaded up with chemicals, antibiotics, GMO seed, too much corn just to simply fatten the cow up before slaughter. All of these things, make sure that you source your milk, your dairy products from a very good quality source. Otherwise, it creates more chaos in your body than it's worth. Okay, nuts are also very beneficial. They have a lot of vitamin E and zinc, which are very helpful for your immune system. Peanuts, walnuts, almonds, macadamia nuts, almonds, I said that, a lot of different nuts, coconuts, as well as the oils for some of them, like coconut oil, hemp seed oil. That's more of a seed. Yeah, that's a seed. What are some other? Coconut oil, hemp, flaxseed oil. Those are very helpful because of the omega-3s that are contained in them. And those types of fats are very beneficial for every part of your body and including your immune system. Okay, berries, especially blueberries. They're very high in antioxidants, which again help contain free radicals. They're very supportive of all the functions of your immune system. And they're very easy, they're very tasty to use. You can just throw them into a smoothie, you can just eat them straight, put them on salads. Okay, eggs. Again, if you're going to eat any type of animal product, make sure it's sourced from a good quality source, that the hens of the eggs, or that laid the eggs, had a natural life where they were pasture raised, were able to be out in the sun, scratching in the dirt, digging for bugs, having their natural diet, which contributes to much healthier, higher quality of egg. Peas, like lentils, green peas, yellow peas that you make split pea soup with, those are also very supportive and helpful for your immune system. They have a lot of carotenoids and polyphenols, and flavonoids, just various nutrients and compounds in them that are very powerful antioxidants and help with the immune system functioning. Garlic, we know garlic is also very helpful for the immune system as well as the digestive tract. It's very potent in eliminating harmful bacteria and viruses, especially in the gut that shouldn't be there. And where so much, the 70% of your immune system is located in the gut, then you want to make sure that you support your gut. Garlic is great for that. Sweet potatoes are very helpful for your immune system because of the beta carotene that's in them, which is converted to vitamin A once it's digested. And vitamin A helps healthy skin as well as helps protect against the critters, bacteria, viruses, fungus, things, microorganisms that your body doesn't need. The things that are not self, okay? Honey is very helpful for your immune system, provided it's a high quality, unrefined, raw honey that goes solid at room temperature. The stuff that you see most often in the stores that is clear and very runny and liquid, it's more like high fructose corn syrup. It's been so processed and cooked at high temperatures that all of the nutrients are lost, and it's just not even considered food, so don't even bother with it. Make sure you have a high quality honey. Okay, so here's a few more things for the immune system. Red bell peppers, which have a lot of vitamin C in them. Broccoli, I mentioned before, with the dark leafy greens. Ginger, the herb, which is very well known also for stomach upsets and helping you have a very healthy digestive tract. It also is very helpful for inflammation. It's very easy to use. It's very commonly used in all kinds of dishes. Spinach, I mentioned this earlier. The dark leafy greens. This is a good source of vegetable protein as well as high in vitamin C. And it has a lot of vitamin A in it too. So load up on the spinach and dark leafy greens. Turmeric is especially good for this, especially the compound curcumin, that also often has been isolated into a powder and used as a nutritional supplement. So that's highly, highly beneficial for inflammation and helping your immune system stay strong. It's been used forever, especially in Indian dishes like curries. It's very anti-inflammatory. It's very helpful for conditions with the joints and with arthritis. Green tea is also very helpful for the immune system with the flavonoids in it. It helps with all of the different things that your immune system does. The fruit papaya is also really good for your immune system. It has a lot of vitamin C in it. And it's got the digestive enzyme called papain, P-A-P-A-I-N, which is a very good for anti-inflammatory effects. It also has potassium and B vitamins and folate, which are also very helpful for everything. Okay, and then another fruit called the kiwi. It's naturally loaded with a lot of potassium, vitamin K, vitamin C, and folate, which helps fight infection, helps support your immune system, and keeps a lot of things just running properly. Poultry. Again, it's an animal product, so make sure if you use poultry that it's sourced from a good quality, that the hens had a natural life where they could dig in the dirt and scratch and have their natural environment, and that there's not the growth hormone, the antibiotics, all the chemicals and garbage pumped into the bird, so that the meat is more healthy. When you do have a high quality poultry, then you can get vitamin B6 from that, which is very helpful. Poultry and the bones of the bird have been used for mineral broth, which is very, very nourishing, especially if you're overcoming illness, infections, the flu, rebuilding your body. Sunflower seeds are also very helpful for your immune system. They have a lot of magnesium and phosphorus, vitamin B6 in them, as well as vitamin E, which is a very powerful antioxidant, which is what, again, helps the immune system. Shellfish, again, high quality from deep sea that doesn't have a lot of mercury in it, that has zinc in it, is very helpful for the immune system. Okay, so now let me give you some anti-inflammatory foods. Quinoa, blueberries, almonds, and other tree nuts, sardines, salmon, and turmeric. So some of these we've talked about before, and some of the foods on both of the are on both of these lists, so they help both the inflammation levels and the immune system. So just be aware of that. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, tuna, sardines are very high in omega-3 fatty acids, which are very helpful for reducing inflammation. They have the omega-3, as I mentioned. If you don't like taking that, then you can use flaxseed oil. There's other vegetable oils to get your omega-3 fatty acids. I mean, I know hemp seed oil is helpful for that. Coconut oils will have some of those. Sunflower seeds oils, generally nut oils will have the omega-3 fatty acids. So those are other alternatives if you don't want to eat fish. I mentioned those, the dark leafy greens and the nuts. Whole grains. A lot of people can't do whole grains anymore because they've been so adulterated, especially wheat that has too much glyphosate in them, and then the wheat has been so adulterated that it doesn't have the protein or the enzymes in it for people to digest anymore. Coupled with the fact that too much wheat is overly processed, any kind of nutrients has been taken out of it. So you've got the refined flours into pastas and breads and cakes and candies and all kinds of things that are not really food, and they contribute to inflammation. So rather than go down that route, if you're going to do whole grains, make sure that it is the whole grain. Even look for grains that are non-glutinous and use the entire whole grain with a whole nutrient profile. And in that form, it can help lower inflammation. And if you can't do gluten, then just again, look for non-glutinous grains. Low-fat dairy or quality dairy, like I mentioned before, making sure that it's sourced from a good place. It doesn't have excess sugar in it, that it's organic or not the conventional milk-based product that has too much chemicals and pus and blood and noxious things, feces, wastes of the animal in the milk. It's not even a food, and it's just been too messed with. So don't even go down that route. Make sure that it's straight, organic, clean dairy. Even look into goat dairy products if you're going to do dairy. Peppers. Bell peppers are very good for inflammation. Tomatoes are helpful for inflammation. Beets, garlic and onions, which we talked about before. Ginger and turmeric. So I've just given you a nice long list of good vegetables, dark leafy greens that you could create a beautiful salad with, and then top it off with olive oil, which is also anti-inflammatory. A good quality olive oil that's extra virgin, refined for the first pressing of the olive, has a lot of vitamin E in it, which is a good antioxidant and very helpful for inflammation levels. So load up on salads every day, and that will take you a long way towards maintaining proper inflammation levels as well as a healthy immune system. And then the last two things for inflammation are berries, which I've already mentioned before, any kind of a berry, and tart cherries, the dark red cherries. They're very anti-inflammatory and very good for you with all kinds of antioxidants, bioflavonoids, of the compounds that give it the red color. So those are some examples of whole foods that you can use on a daily basis. You may want to go through and take some notes of what I shared with you and look at the food list that I've offered you and make sure that you're having them every day, because that will go a long ways in your overall health. Then the final thing I wanted to share with you briefly are essential oils that you can use. And as you've watched some of my other videos, I always stress the importance of the quality of oil. Some oils are not even worth your money. Don't waste your time on them. Know where the oils are sourced, because when you have a very high quality oil, not only can you use it externally, but you can use it internally as a nutritional supplement. And when you use it that way, the oil can go a long way again in supporting your proper inflammation levels as well as your immune system. So, some oils that support your immune system are a frankincense essential oil, oregano, rosemary, and lemon essential oils. And you'll notice a lot of these are made from herbs and plants that we already eat in our culinary spices and such. So again, just load up on those foods as well as incorporate those essential oils into your life. Eucalyptus and thyme essential oil, orange, melaleuca or tea tree essential oil, clove, lavender, cinnamon bark are very helpful. And then for inflammation, essential oils that are very supportive of that are wintergreen and vetiver, German chamomile, Idaho blue spruce, copaiba, which is an oil made from a resin of the copal trees down in Brazil that have been used forever and ever for all kinds of inflammation and healing properties or healing purposes. Palo Santo, again, that's another oil from a tree from Ecuador, from South America, the rainforests that have been used forever by the indigenous peoples there. Clove and nutmeg essential oils, lavender, thyme, and frankincense essential oils. Again, you'll notice how there's repetition of some of these oils, so you're helping both your immune system as well as the inflammation factors. Roman chamomile, hyssop, and peppermint essential oils are very helpful for inflammation. Melaleuca or tea tree. And then you can make blends of some of these oils. So if you'd like to know more about how you can use those oils, how you can receive them for yourself, then get a hold of me. And I'm happy to share with you how the oils that I use, how I use them, and how you can acquire them and use them for your own health and well-being. Also, if you would like information about how you can have your DNA tested to know what kind of SNPs or gene variants you have, then again, contact me. As we talked about, as this video is all about the ILF6 gene, the gene that regulates the Interleukin 6, which is all about healthy inflammation levels in your immune system. If you have the variant of that gene, it's really important to know so that you can support yourself by boosting up the nutrients and the essential oils and the whole foods that will strengthen your immune system and help further maintain healthy inflammation levels. So if you know you already have that variant or that weakness, then just strengthen it with added food and lifestyle things, dealing with the issues of your heart, healing your heart, being happy and joyful and passionate, having a healthy balance and flow of your fire energy. All of that plays a role in how this gene is expressed. So there's a lot of things that you can do to make sure that it's expressed optimally to maintain health, rather than allowing too much inflammation to build up over long periods of time, and then that gene expresses itself in a way that deteriorates the body, degenerates it, and creates disease for you, which is not the route that anyone wants to go. So I hope you found this helpful. Contact me if you'd like to know more about how you can have the gene testing done, more things about whole foods, essential oils, other things that I do. I have all kinds of information on my website. I share on social media here as well as on my YouTube channel. You can find me at lauraleehumphreys.com on my website. You can find me on social media, especially Facebook, under my name, Laura Lee Humphreys. And with that, enjoy your day with low inflammation, low stress, and stay healthy and happy and vibrant. Take care, everyone.